Hello, I'm Lisa Burkhart Worley, and welcome to Pop Talk, the show where you never know what topics might pop up. Today's program is sponsored by Prestige Development Properties. Have you ever thought it would be fun to compete in a Miss America pageant, but never did it? Well, our guest today will tell you that it's never too late to enter a competition like that, because she is now the reigning Miss Texas Senior America winner. And you're going to be very impressed with her credentials. But first, say hello to our Pop Talk co-hosts, Michelle Burton and Renee Rollins. Both Miss Americas in their own right. Our guest is Dr. Terre Denise Quinn, who holds the title of Miss Texas Senior America for 2023. Dr. Quinn is a general surgeon specializing in diseases of the breast. She practices medicine in Allen, Texas, and has been voted best in Collin County since 2015. She also leads a national nonprofit organization called Sisters Network, Inc., Incorporated, dedicated to the support of African American women affected by breast cancer. In addition, she mentors pre-medical students and hosts the Medical Minute, a 30-second social media clip regarding breast and general health topics. In her spare time, she participates in the Senior Follies. She plays tennis, and she plays the violin and piano. She's also a mom to 2 children. So, Dr. Quinn, it is just great to have you on the show. You do a lot. I don't know how you do it, but people say that to all of us as well. Well, we're overachievers.
I know, but that was pretty impressive, that presentation.
Yeah, sometimes,
wow.
You think, gosh,
yes,
did I do
exactly.
all that?
Little disclaimers. I play at the violin and the piano. It's not like I'm accomplished at those things, but I do enjoy it. And one of the things that I really like about this phase of life is that you can always challenge yourself to learn something new.
Yes.
And so every birthday, I used to say, I'm going to learn something new. The average person stops dreaming at age 5.
Wow.
We don't have to stop.
No, I'm still dreaming.
Wow. I wanted to learn to tap. I didn't start tap dancing until age 53.
Wow. Ooh, that probably keeps you in great shape.
It does. It does. And especially if you do it consistently. Disclaimer. Yes. I don't always, but it is a good cardio.
I don't know how you have the time. Hey, but tell us why you entered the Miss Texas Senior America pageant. What came across your mind to do it?
Number one, I didn't even know such a thing existed. I ran into, by participating in the Senior Follies, to the former Miss Texas Senior America 2019 and 20 because of COVID. And she began to talk to me about it. And of course, I had very little interest initially. And she just, I would say, kept dripping on me about it, about what a magnificent opportunity it could be for me, how it could broaden my platform to do what I'm already doing. And then I began to reconsider it. And I said, now, what exactly is involved? Because I don't have a talent, okay? I didn't grow up dancing. I can't sing like you, Renee. I can't play the piano enough where anybody would want to listen. It's like my real talent is breast cancer surgery. Is anybody going to volunteer for that on stage? No, okay? And plus, I only have
first.
Right, yes. And plus, you only have 2 minutes and 35 seconds. So how are you going to do that?
Right.
And no anesthesia. Okay, so I had to have a demonstrable talent and not one that is my true calling, which is breast cancer surgery. So I did start tapping, as I said, at 53, and I thought, well, if I get a good choreographer and I get her to stretch me a little bit and I work really, really, really hard and I show a lot of enthusiasm, which I got plenty of that, maybe I can use that as a talent. And so that became my goal. Let me learn to have another talent that's outside of medicine, and that's been fun.
I'm sorry, but I just had this funny thought when you said, you do anesthesia. You could just knock everybody out in the audience.
Right. Good. I don't do anesthesia. I get anesthesia. Got
it.
Help my patients to be still and compliant.
I think it's hypnosis that you bring them back and vote for you.
Exactly. Yes. It's time for you to wake. You will feel no pain.
You will feel no pain.
Exactly. But that's how I got involved in it.
Perfect. Can you share a little bit of information about the pageant and what you have to do for the actual competition itself?
Yes, there's 3 components, actually 4. There's the interview session, and that's done not on stage, so you don't have to worry about being like Sandra Bullock and asked about, world peace, and it's not on stage. That part is kind of behind closed doors. Okay, that's nice. So they grade you there, and then there is the evening gown, where you just walk across the stage in your gown and you do a couple turns, which I understand as we get older, that's actually harder to do.
It's hard. I was thinking, I don't know if I could do that
In
anymore.
heels.
In heels.
Right.
And then there's the philosophy of life. And this is where you condense your entire philosophy of life into 35 seconds.
Wow.
And it's timed. Now, just trying to condense all you know into 35 seconds is really challenging. You really have to think about that. And then you deliver that without notes. You deliver it to the judges in your gown. And that's another part. Wow. And then the final part is the talent. So they're weighted differently. I think it's like 30% talent, 30% interview, and the rest are only 20%. So the talent's on 20%. You don't have to have a high-end talent necessarily to win.
Well, and you wowed the judges because you did your tap dance routine, right? To Little Bitty Pretty.
I did it enthusiastically.
I mean, because you're part of Senior Follies, showgirl. So let's talk about, when did you get involved in dance? Did you begin that before you decided to be in the pageant?
Wow. No, I knew nothing about the pageant when I started doing tap dance. It just looked like fun.
Sure.
It's like skipping. It's just like skipping.
Did you ever dream in all of this that you would actually win and have that pageant title?
Absolutely not. I'll share this brief story. When I was probably about 8 or 9, we were watching the Miss Teen Black USA. That's when it was segregated. It shows you my age. And I had an older cousin that was watching it with me, and she says to my mother, "Aunt Evelyn, you ought to get Terry in one of those pageants." And she said, without even hesitating, "She doesn't have any talent." It's terrible. Like, why would I do that? Kind of thing. And I thought, whoa,
wow,
that kind of sucks to be me, right? That I don't have any talent. And I didn't even think anything about it, like I could get one. But it did kind of let me know, hey, you just better go straight academics. I mean, it was always emphasized academics. So the artistic side of me, well, that only could be developed after I already had my career, and actually when my children got a little older too. I didn't start playing tennis until I was 40.
Wow.
Gosh.
That's about the time I quit.
Yes, exactly.
Every muscle in my
exactly,
body.
right. Well, 40-year-old tennis is very different than teen tennis. Okay, so
pickleball.
So this has really provided an excellent platform for you to perhaps express your faith. It's a secular event, but I've read some articles about you where you actually proclaimed your belief in God. How have you been able to shine a light on the Father?
Well, I consider every day when I go to my place of work that I am a vessel to be used. I ask the Lord to empty me so that I can do His will. I cannot do this in my flesh. I have to do it with the Spirit. Because the flesh grows tired and cranky and really selfish. So as in my practice, I have used this venue to expand the ones that I reach. Like I'm sitting here with you. I wouldn't be here right now if I had not had this platform to come and be here. And hopefully we're reaching some other people, women especially, but not only women, just people in general. And I pray that as I go to my day-to-day life and living life out loud to the fullest, the way Christ wants us to, that I am in fact encouraging others to do the same.
Wow.
I love that. I love that you realize that you are a vessel of His to be used, to bring Him glory. So that is very cool. I love that. You are practicing, as we talked about, you're practicing general surgeon, specializing in the diseases of the breast.
Right.
And this Miss Texas Senior America title has probably also led to some other opportunities to create breast cancer awareness. So how are you able to help women concerning this type of cancer?
Well, The opportunity to be on larger platforms has been expanded. I have since become Miss Texas in November. I've had many opportunities to address larger audiences, senior women. I was a keynote speaker at the Senior Summit downtown at Fair Park, and there was probably 800 people in there.
Wow.
I don't know if they were listening, but I was there, and I was able to share just the bigger microphone to do and champion what I already do best, which is talk about diseases of the breast and health in general, but particularly diseases of the breast. And I encourage those women, first of all, to remember to get early detection. That's the simplest, most straightforward way to do. Do not underestimate the importance of early detection, and that screening mammograms save lives.
That's good.
It does.
It all starts with screening.
Yes, I'm faithful about that. I don't know about you guys,
Me
but
too,
every year
yes.
it's like I look for that because the last thing I want to do is let that linger if there's something going on with my breast. Yeah,
And self-breast exam as well. So the combination of mammograms alone is not enough. Self-breast examination is not enough. We need screening mammograms. We need self-breast examinations monthly, preferably after the menstrual cycle. If you don't have a menstrual cycle, pick the day of your birth. If you were born on October 25th, like me, then you would pick the 25th of each month.
That's just around the corner.
So do it. And then the third thing is that clinician exams every year, probably starting around age 20.
Right. What do you think about the 3D exam? Is that always good to do that one? I know they give you options, so I was just curious from a personal standpoint.
The benefit of 3D mammography is supposedly that it gives you more images. So instead of just the 4 pictures, 2 of each breast, 3D tomography is giving like hundreds of pictures, images of this breast. And so the radiologist is able to see better those patients with dense breast tissue. It's supposed to pick up cancers more, but it's only a little bit more per 1,000. So the average number of breast cancers detected on 1,000 mammograms viewed is 1.
Wow.
So this might increase it to 2. But it also is supposed to have a benefit of less callbacks for extra views. So back a few years ago, 3D mammography was not covered by insurance, and you had to pay out of pocket, and they would ask you, do you want to pay the $65 that your insurance may not pay?
Right.
Now, however, almost all insurance companies are covering 3D mammography, so you don't even really have to choose. It's a little more radiation, but probably just go ahead and take it.
yeah, that's good.
Good to know.
Praise God that there are people who have given their life to combating that and bringing awareness. I just want to bless you now. Thank you for just championing for so many women.
Yeah.
Because there's a big fear attached to that.
Yes, there
There's a huge fear. I was so impressed to find out that you lead a national nonprofit organization called Sisters Network Incorporated. Can you share a little bit about that outreach?
Yes, but I do want to clarify that Sisters Network is a national organization. I am not the leader. I'm a very active participant in our local chapter here in Dallas. The network was designed primarily to fill in the gaps financially as well as emotionally for the patients who were diagnosed with breast cancer, particularly in the African American community, however, not limited to women in the African American community. Women in general, women in need. There's a financial component that you have to meet in order to be able to qualify for assistance financially. But the emotional and the communication and the uplifting is open to everybody.
Oh.
And they fill in things that, you don't think about a lot. So because if you're off work, there may be some lost wages. People may need their rent paid. They may need an electricity bill paid. The Sisters Network will fill in those gaps many times for the ladies.
That's what came to my mind, is how it would immediately affect just your day-to-day, right?
Day-to-day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's what sisters should do for each other. We should all, whether we have a sisters network or not, you should make your own network and help your sisters and try to help them out when they're going through times of struggle. Hey, you also do a little media Medical Minute. I got to see a couple of those, and you do them on social media. What topics do you discuss on that, and where can they find that?
I tend to discuss topics that I think are trending in health, especially around COVID. I had some social media that I put out. It was more in the form of interviews and so forth. And we have a society now that does not like to watch long clips.
Right.
We are kind of a right now society.
Yes.
So Instagram is perfect for those kinds of moments. After about 20 seconds, people are done listening. So with that in mind, I actually love to paint a story. I want to tell you the whole thing. I want to lay it out for you.
Yeah.
I want to put you there. I want you to feel what I'm feeling, okay, et cetera.
Oh, yeah.
But that's not what our world wants. We want just the facts,
Yeah.
real quick. Okay. So Medical Minute was designed to reach that audience, which they're always swiping. And
Yes.
so I try to focus on things that are trending. And one of those things was smoking and cigars. And these cigar bars that are popping up everywhere. And that a lot of women have now taken up cigar smoking. That's one of the topics. Another one about the importance of screening mammogram, of course. I talk about the fact that in my practice, you get to see me. There's no mid-level providers. There's no nurse practitioners and PAs, et cetera. And that's being kind of lost in medicine.
Yes, it is.
And I think people are kind of accustomed to it now. But I think if they knew that they could reach me directly, that might make me desirable as a provider.
Absolutely.
Think about what you said. 20 seconds is about the attention span. So
Yep.
we're about 16 minutes into the show now. So I hope that you're still watching.
too, man.
You know, I think
I may
we
have to
a
get up and
very
do a
interesting
dance.
topic
Right.
here, and so I hope that you're still watching us at this time.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
I think it's interesting too because I think it depends on what stage in life that you're at as
Absolutely.
well. Because as at this level in my life, I'm certainly interested in hearing more than just the facts. I want to be able to
Exactly.
find the background story and understand it before. You know, and the
Yes.
facts are great. Don't get
Yes.
me wrong, but I do love that piece of it. But I understand that there are a lot
Right.
of people who really do just want to get the facts. But there is a lot more to it than
There
just getting
is.
the facts.
And the teasers can sometimes make them come to my website and look deeper into certain topics, et cetera. So that's just sort of a attention getter.
All right. Well, in case you're curious, are you going to say
go
something
ahead.
else? In case you're curious, here is a look at one of Dr. Quinn's medical minutes.
Hi, Dr. Terry here. I want to ask you a question. If you had a mammogram, let's say in October, and it was completely negative, but in February you felt a mass in your breast, should you go back and get additional views or tell your doctor that you found something? The answer to that is absolutely yes. That was a trick question. It doesn't matter if you had a mammogram the previous month. If you feel something on self-breast examination, you need to go immediately back and get additional views. That's your Medical Minute with Dr. Terry. Stay safe.
So, why did you decide to be a doctor in particular, and with a focus on the breast and breast disease?
Well, you know, I decided to become a doctor nearly 40 years ago. It's really hard to know exactly now why I made that decision then. But I will say that when you go to college, you got to pick a major.
Right.
And I picked biology because I had a really strong biology teacher in advanced biology. And I thought, well, biology seems fun. I definitely didn't like chemistry, so stay away from that kind of
Let's put it
stuff.
together.
And if you're a biology major, you really don't have a lot of options in what to do with a biology major. You can be a teacher, you can do research, or you can be go into medicine. And so I called myself pre-med, but I didn't really know what that entailed. Before I knew it, I was on a path, just going, like on a conveyor belt. And it's kind of like, I'm not sure where I'm going, but I'll just keep moving. Somewhere around my junior year, I kind of got a little more focused that, yeah, I think this is it. This is my deal. And when I got into medical school, you know, you get exposure to all these different specialties, et cetera. But the one that kind of got my motor running really was surgery. And there's a lot of angst against women going into surgery at that time. Not now, but I'm talking in 1988, Okay, so there wasn't a lot of role models for women in surgery. I always imagined that I wanted a very full life. I wanted medicine, but I was also hoping I would one day have a husband and children, et cetera. And in surgery, those two don't always go together, women in surgery, okay? Because someone's still gonna have to pick up those kids. Moms will always be moms, okay? And I decided I would just go for it and to make myself happy doing what I felt satisfied doing and making a way for the lifestyle to fit my chosen career. Okay. So general surgery training is 5 years. I did 6. One of those years was a year of research. And then after that, I did another year of fellowship downtown Baylor, and that's what brought me to Dallas. Still not married. And then shortly after I joined a practice in North Dallas, I was married. And then before I knew it, I had 2 boys, and here I am.
Here you are.
Here I am. So, exactly.
That's a lot.
Everything that you have going on, how do you balance and keep yourself grounded spiritually?
Oh my goodness. This makes me miss my mother so much. She was kind of like standing in the gap for me for many years, standing on the rock. And this rock is Jesus. And over the years, that became my rock. Because when the ground is shifting and your mother, you can see, is becoming disabled, et cetera. She's still living, but she has dementia quite a bit. Eventually, you're standing on your own faith.
Yes.
So I never lose sight of the fact that I can reach back and I'm standing on Christ. I'm standing on the rock.
Praise God.
Always.
Praise
but,
God.
I always wanted all of that. I wanted my faith and my physical well-being and my practice and my children, and all of those require attention. Yes. I'm so glad that my sons are now adults. They're both computer science engineers. They have good jobs of their own.
Thank you, Lord.
They know the Lord.
Amen.
I pray that they will always walk with them. And now, at this point, all you can do is cover them. Really, they have their own choices to make.
Right.
But as I segue from that phase of life, I'm finding new ways to create balance in my life. And now that need for nurturing and growing is kind of faded. And so I can pour myself into making myself useful into the community.
In a sense, you've got a crown on your head, but honestly, every female who believes in Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior has a crown on their head as well.
Absolutely.
They are daughters of the King.
We are daughters of the King. My older son says, he kind of rolls his eyes about this whole pageant thing. He goes, Mom, you were always a queen. Somebody just gave you a crown.
It's about time.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Like, we could probably wear one on the show one day. That would be kind of fun.
I think all women should wear a crown. I do.
So as you look back over all your reign, as Miss Texas Senior America, what are some of the highlights and what are some of the fun things that you've done so far?
Well, let's see. In January, I was able to participate in the Martin Luther King parade, and riding on the back of that Porsche was fun.
I guess
waving.
so.
I didn't know they rode on Porsche.
Right.
It's like,
look
I
at
thought it was boats.
I think it was my friend's Benz. It was convertible, and I was sitting on the back. I don't remember.
I'm going to need to see that wave.
I know, right?
Yes.
Let's see that wave again.
All right, everyone, let's practice.
Hello.
I don't think I could do it.
It was actually pretty easy to learn. Okay.
You do it well.
Yes, she does.
So what else have you been able to do?
Let's see. I was also able to participate in the Collin County NAACP Awards. That I was on, like Vanna White, handing the awards out to people. When because there was the mayors, there was the chief of police for Plano and the Allen Police Department, and that was awesome.
I bet.
That was kind of fun.
That was fun.
Yeah, I hated it. Yeah. so awful. Right. Exactly. Let's see. The margarita ball, that was really, I got to make an appearance.
Without saying what it is, we can
Yeah.
figure it out.
The margarita ball, they it's a big ball. They hold it every year. It's a fundraiser.
Yeah.
It is a fundraiser. They collect stuff for children.
Yeah, for the children's.
Yes.
Exactly.
Awesome.
That was able to make an appearance there, and when you're Miss Texas, you get to take special pictures with all the soldiers and all the dignitaries and so forth, and that's kind of fun. It kind of gets me in some doors. Like, excuse me, I'm Miss Texas. Right, exactly right. And it's a big state, and I'm proud to represent it. It's a big state with a lot of fabulous women. So it's been quite a joy. The national competition, did I mention that? So the obligations are basically based upon your schedule. There's nothing that I have to do. This is all voluntary. No one's paying me. There's no awards. There's no scholarship. We're all past that already. So really what we do now is more service. And there's a lot of performances at the senior centers that would be great for you, Renee, because we go as a part of the, if you participate in the Miss Texas pageant and you lose, or if you win or lose, it doesn't matter. If you participate, you're automatically in something called a cameo club. And we go around to all the senior citizens and we do performances, et cetera, like put on a happy face.
Yes.
I'm not a singer.
It sounds pretty good, Joy.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty awesome.
And so sometimes I'll go and I'll do my winning performance, but it takes a lot of energy. So I don't always do it, and plus sometimes the floors are slippery.
Oh yeah.
But we're performing and putting on. But the one thing you have to do if you win is you have to go to the national competition in New Jersey to compete for the Miss Senior America.
Oh, wow.
And so and there will be 42 states represented.
So you haven't done this yet?
I have not.
And that's coming up when again?
October.
Right around your birthday.
The week before.
Wow.
Fun.
Exactly. Right. And so that is held in the Tropicana up there, and it's all week. So this is how they do it there. They see all the candidates, 42 of them, and they narrow it down to 10.
Whoa.
And then those 10, they have come back and do everything again. Like they're taking a better look at you.
Yeah.
Okay. And then from those 10, they pick 5. And those 5 are the winners. You got Miss Senior America, first, second, third, and fourth runner-up.
Wow.
We are going to be rooting for you.
Texas.
Hopefully you'll keep in touch, or it'll make news or something like that. So
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think this makes news. It's not like the young ladies.
But it is
pop
filmed.
news.
Yes,
It is filmed, and they put it on.
News.
It is on YouTube.
Let us know. We'll put it on our social media.
That'd be great.
Yeah. And so you can reach Dr. Terre Quinn at her website, and it's Dr. Terre, and it's spelled Terre, Quinn, Quinn, drterrequinn.com.
Yeah.
And we want to thank our sponsor, Prestige Development Properties, LLC. If you have a project that needs a commercial developer, Prestige Development Properties is the place to go. You can email Prestige at Kerry, Kerry, at prestigedev.net.
And we want to invite you to travel with us. The Pearls of Promise team's going to Israel in January of next year. We're going to be going to Jerusalem, the Sea of Galilee, the birthplace of Jesus, and so many other sites. If you would like information about this trip, you can email us at info@pearlsofpromiseministries.com.
And we would love for you to connect with us on social media. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Pop Talk Media, or on Instagram at Pop_Ministries. And we hope you will subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can find all of our past Pop Talk TV shows and documentaries. Thanks to our amazing television platforms, we are grateful for all 13 of them. That is Pop Talk for today. We're just ordinary girls
Who God turned into pearls.
We'll see you next time.